So now we're going to do a segment called Behind the Stream that's actually sponsored by Ecamm, and we have Rich Graham here, and Rich is going to go through his setup. And Rich, I want to start with the question that we start with everybody with is, how did you actually start streaming? Like, what was your setup to begin with?
We started a podcast in October of 2019. The shutdown happened, and we had to do our podcast over Zoom starting in about March of 2020. And we did that for a couple of months, and then I started getting into different ways to make that better and discovered Ecamm, I guess, in the summertime. Didn't actually pull the trigger until August or September of 2020. So I've been on it since then. And now we do our podcast every week live on YouTube, and then we take that file and cut it up to make our podcast.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what kind of camera or light situation did you have going on then?
Back then, we just had iPhones and a couple of Samsung Q2U microphones. Well, first of all, we had the iPhone default camera that comes with it.
Right.
She had a phone. My assistant, my co-host, had a phone, and I had a phone, and we would record individually, and I would take those two tracks and marry them up in Audition to make a podcast. That was kind of clumsy.
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, it was. But then we moved up to Samsung Q2Us plugged into a mixer. And then I found these SM58s on Craigslist for $100 for the pair. So bumped into that. Then I got rid of the Behringer and got the Rodecaster. Anyway, it's little steps at a time. So, but now I'm pretty much set up. I've got it all. I've got a couple of real big softbox lights and a couple of ZV-1s.
So let's go through this setup. You talked about your mic. You said that's a 58. What kind of mic is that?
Yeah,
again?
Shure SM58.
Man, it sounds really good, Rich.
And this is going through a Rodecaster, whatever, the $600 Rodecaster everybody has.
Yeah,
Rodecaster Pro.
Yeah, Rodecaster Pro.
I think one of the things I'd like to highlight there, is that they started with their cameras. I mean, their phones. And that's what we tell people all the time. Start with what you got and make it better, and little piece at a time. I know Strick is big about, Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, finding deals. You can find the deals. You don't have to spend a ton of money to get started.
Well, the only problem with the phone, and it wasn't a problem when we were recording, it was just inconvenient that we'd get calls or interruptions or notifications because you always forget to turn it off.
Right.
And, and that's okay. And then once you go live, you really got to pay attention to that. So now that we're not doing that anymore, that's one thing we don't have to worry about. So
you talked about your audio. Tell me about the camera that you're using right now.
This camera is a Sony ZV-1. I bought it on Prime Day, I guess, in January or whenever they had Prime Day. Not the last one, the one before. And then, and it was $650 for that and the Vlogger kit, which is the little remote thing.
Right.
Then a month or two ago, I found one on Craigslist that I think fell off a truck, and it was $500, brand new in the box.
Wow.
And then I found a Vlogger kit on eBay for $80, so that's actually cheaper. So now I've got two ZV-1s, so everything looks the same. Everything has the same settings and the same. The only thing that's different is different lights point in different directions. But we did it just for consistency. I don't really need to get into 6100s or 6500s or whatever those fancy cameras are.
Right.
400 lenses and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is great for what we use it for.
When we talk about cameras, Rich, my next question is, okay, what lens do you have? But the ZV-1 comes with its own lens.
It's fine, and it's just fine for what we do. And if I want to throw it on top of my, what do they call that? Throw it on top of my switch pod and go out and vlog or something like that, or go out and shoot some portable stuff, I can. Not that I do, but I could.
Well, explain to that real quick, and I think a lot of people don't understand. Well, you got to look at your use case. So tell us a little bit more about your business and how you're using this to for your business.
Well, when I'm not doing a podcast, I set one of the ZV-1s up as an overhead. It's not set up now, and I could do that if you wanted me to. But and I use Ecamm to switch between the two. So if I'm on a Zoom call doing a presentation or doing a demo or something, and I'll have a product. I mean, the ZV-1 has like a product mode thing. So if I hold something up to the camera, it changes the focus real fast.
Oh, that's great, Rich.
That's awesome.
And then when that's on an overhead, I can hold stuff underneath the camera and, of course, show it that way. So, I mean, it's perfect for what we were doing. Now that we're not doing so much of that anymore because the world's opening back up. But, It's still going to be out. You're still going to need to be able to do it. Zoom calls aren't going away. People are kind of used to it. I mean, I've got a couple of. I mean, I don't want to get in the car and go see people anymore. I don't really want. It's a pain in the neck.
I don't either.
I mean, it's a 30 minutes an hour to get there, 30 minutes an hour to get back, and that takes a big chunk of time out of your day. I can see 3 people in the time it takes to get to one guy. So I would much rather keep it online as much as I can. And this just beefs up my. I don't want to say my image, but it does make you look better. I mean, it amazes me that even today you still see people that they have the laptop going up their nose, they're using that webcam. It's just, what are you doing, man?
Like, put some books or something under the laptop. Bring it up a little bit.
But they see other people. They know other people look good, and they don't. I don't understand how people don't. It doesn't snap to I don't know. Maybe they just need somebody to intervention to tell them. People to be honest with them. I don't know. It's sad, but it's the way it goes.
Yeah, we gotta really help people work on that, and that's the reason why we have the stream show, to help people figure all that out. That being said, what about your lighting setup? What kind of lights are you using now?
It's a $50 set, I think, from Amazon. Well, one of the lights somebody was giving away, and it's got 2 big giant LED fluorescent, whatever, curly Q bulbs in it. I don't know the brand, if it's even a brand. The other one is, it's where you get 2 sets on a stick, and it's the big softbox.
Right.
It's not. I don't know the brand, man. I don't know the.
It's
brand.
okay. It's okay, but it's 2
softbox
in front of
you. It's whatever. It's like a $50 or $60 set, and you get a bag, and you get 3 lights, and it's the whole thing. It's the cheap Amazon stuff, and it's really fine. I mean, for what we do, like I said, there's no.
I think that's really great for people to understand. Is I think they watch a lot of videos and they got to have the best stuff. I can't start because I don't have the best camera. And, I'm very price conscious. And if you can find it cheap on, Amazon or eBay or Craigslist, get that stuff as inexpensive as you can, especially when you're starting out, because you might not want to do it.
Well, I know that there are $700 lights and $300 domes that go on them. And I don't know what that would do for me. I don't know if it would be worth $1,000 to do something like that.
That's right, Rich.
I pretty much guarantee it would not.
You can't look any prettier than you do now, sir. You're right. Rich, we definitely appreciate all the work that you've done to support the stream show, man. You're like one of our biggest supporters, and we thank you for that. And more importantly, there's going to be people that are going to watch this and glean some information on how to do their setup as well. So thank you for your time today. And, man, you're awesome, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having me on. This is fun.
All right, so that's been your Behind the Stream from Ecamm.